Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Eric. Eric is from Seattle in the USA. So let's see what Eric has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Eric. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time this morning for the interview. My God, you made this so early this morning. Thank you.
Absolutely. I was excited for the opportunity.
Amazing. So tell me, how was your night last night? Did you sleep well?
I had a weird night. I woke up at 2 a.m. and I haven't been to sleep since. So I don't know what's going on with that, but whatever.
Oh.
There's been some lifestyle changes that have incorporated lately into my life. And
Uh-huh.
so I'm noticing these things where like it used to be that I needed a solid 9 or 10 hours of sleep no matter what, like that was the minimum. And now like and sometimes I could even go to bed early and sleep 12 hours, right? And so that's what I was thinking I was doing last night when I went to bed at 7 and then I woke up at 2. But think about that, I still got 7 hours of sleep.
Absolutely.
So whatever.
I exactly know what you mean. I'm an early bird. I wake up very early as well, and I tend to go to bed quite early. And actually, sometimes I can wake up like very early as well, and I cannot fall asleep anymore. And it's somehow
Yeah.
the cycle of your sleep. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
just, yeah. I like your earrings.
Thank you. These were actually, I think these were a birthday gift last year from my niece.
Oh,
I just
sweet.
I like long dangly earrings and I like colorful earrings, so she really nailed it with these.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
So tell me, Eric, where are you from?
I live in Seattle.
Born and raised?
No, no. So I am from Washington State in the United States, but I'm from a town of like 500 people in Eastern Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 hours. Okay, this is what I like to say. My hometown, actually the county that I'm from, does not have a stoplight within it.
Wow.
So you have to drive 40 miles to get to the closest stoplight.
Amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's actually it's very quiet and peaceful.
It's quiet, it's peaceful. I would love to go take it over and just turn it gay, gay and
Yeah,
welcoming.
no, absolutely. Why not?
Yeah. So that's a life goal at some point.
It's gonna be the gayest city in the US.
Well, see, this is what I'm thinking. My mom has property that's 10 or sorry, she has property that's like a mile outside of the city limits. So technically it's the unincorporated county. So if we were to really do our work and buy the neighboring plots of land outside of the city limits, we could start our own new city up there. And I absolutely would call it something just that would drive the conservatives nuts, like gay Washington or something like that.
Love the idea. I love the idea, and for sure I'll visit one day.
Yeah.
Eric, and why Seattle? Why the change from Washington State to Seattle?
Well, so I have lived in Seattle since 2017, so we're coming up on uh, 7 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, it is 7 years this month. Actually, almost to the day, I think.
Right.
Um, and I came here from college.
Mm-hmm.
So from my hometown, I went to college. I spent a summer in Peru volunteering, and then I spent time up at a second college that I transferred into. And then when I ended up dropping out of school, I was like, I want to go travel. So I got a job working for Amtrak, which is the passenger railroad in the US.
Cool.
And I worked for them for like a year and a half. And
Uh-huh.
that was what brought me to Seattle.
Wow. And what do you like the most about living in Seattle? What's the biggest joy of it?
Well, okay. Everyone who lives here is going to just roll their eyes when they hear this because it really is the truth. The summers here are the best because we all know that we're renowned for our rain and it doesn't rain that much, but it is definitely gloomy in the winter. So the summers are gorgeous. The views on a clear day are gorgeous of the mountains around. There's mountains, there's just expansive water, there's fresh air. Like even in a city environment, it's pretty fresh for the most part.
Hmm.
And then I just love I love anywhere where I can find creative energy in a hub.
Amazing, Eric. It's amazing to be in a place where you can express yourself and be creative and connect with great people around. That's the
Yeah,
best part.
and you can see there's plenty to express here. This is
Uh-huh.
me at 7 a.m., keep in mind.
I
Get me
love
at noon once I've had like caffeine in me and been running for a couple of hours. There's like tenfold more personality.
I love it. And what do you do for work, for living?
I'm self-employed, and so my primary income comes from teaching private piano lessons.
Wow.
I have about 25 students in my studio right now, and they range from the age of 5 to the age of like mid 70s. Um, so I like to have adult students because let's be real, adult students are um, more excited and willing to learn and like dive into ideas. And a lot of times the kids are just there because they have to be. But we try and make it fun for everyone. And then aside from that, I have a bath and body company, Do Re Mi Fa Soap.
Uh-huh.
And I make all my own stuff and I sell online on my website, soapbyeric.com, and then at the local farmers market here in Seattle, or at one of them. And then I'm working to get into to kind of bring my life experiences together with theater and live performance experience and consent work and advocacy, and start working as a an intimacy coordinator, both for film and television and theater. Um, and so I hope to kind of get that going, and there's a lot of exciting stuff on the roster for this year.
Eric, so during the join, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life overall and also about your point of views, okay?
Okay,
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of
I'm
view?
I'm so ready.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend. Okay, full of fun questions. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song now, just first to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Cool.
Let's do it.
Not playing music for me, but that's okay.
You can always dance with me, always.
I'll dance along anyway.
Right, Eric, before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay, thank you.
First question for you is, if you met someone sad in the street, what will be your approach or your advice to this person?
Um, I don't know that I'd have like a blanket advice right off the bat. If I had the time, I would probably visit with them a little bit more and try and get to know them and kind of see what it's all about. Because
Mhm.
um, I know for me, even like anxiety is often an energy that I feel in my body, and it's really about like reframing the thoughts that come to me. Like if it's like a dark thought, I can say, well, what's a better way to think about that? So like maybe helping them with that. But I would say just that there is hope. There is hope. There is joy. Look for the helpers.
Have ever happened to you that you kind of cross someone that wasn't feeling well, like in the public?
Oh, absolutely. So I see people at the farmers market all the time because there are thousands of people who walk through the farmers market on a weekly basis. And so actually, I guess I do this already when I see somebody who doesn't particularly look engaged or enthusiastic. I like to say, hey, psst, you got to watch out. You got to watch out. They just put out an APB for all the cutie patooties and they could grab you at any second. And it without a doubt makes them smile. Like even if they don't want to laugh at it, it makes them smile.
For
So,
sure, for sure. Next question. Let's do it. Yes, I can see you love dancing. Yeah. Next question is, what do you think people need to know about each other before they start a relationship?
ooh, um, before they start, the level of willingness, the amount of space and willingness they are they have to put to invest into the relationship. Because I truly believe that like the most at odds relationship could work out, but you have to have time and like skills and emotional capacity to handle it. And sometimes those aren't synced up between two people.
Do you find, like in Seattle, in your opinion, experience, do you think it's easy to start a relationship in the gay scene? Do you think it's is the dating life? How is in your opinion?
So we have a phenomenon here in Seattle, a social phenomenon that we refer to colloquially as the Seattle freeze. And that's just that everyone kind of comes off as cold. And I think it's just like, I mean, if I had to hypothesize, I'd say, like, of course, in the winter, we're not getting enough sunlight, enough vitamin D, like, we're all at our tech jobs, like a big amount of the areas at tech jobs. And so a lot of that just isn't where the human spirit thrives based on what we know from physiology and like a bunch of other areas of expertise. And so dating in Seattle can be tough because it's hard to find a person who is like in that open growth, like available mindset and not limiting themselves. Um, but also, but also, I've found that like the more that I put myself in that available mindset, the more those people come to me. So it all works out.
And being gay there, it's easy, it's simple, or it can be challenging.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
I mean, I could walk around the street like this and people wouldn't really bat an eye. I mean, that's coming from a small town that was decently conservative. So like it, I used to be so self-conscious about the tiniest little thing, like if I was holding myself a certain way, or if my wrist went a certain way, or if my voice made a certain inflection. And in Seattle, nobody cares. Being gay is so easy here. Yeah.
Amazing. Great. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Right. So before the next question, tell me about your journey so far as a piano instructor. How the journey started?
Well, so the journey for piano instruction started. So after I left the job with Passenger Rail Road, I what I was really looking for was like an artistic outlet. I really missed being in choir. And so I quit and I said, I'm going to make it work some other way, but I can't do this. I need to be in a choir. And so I ended up joining a choir that I'm no longer with now, but I joined a choir. And through that, I found a job teaching music in a public school, even though I didn't have my certificate
Mhm.
for teaching. It was a homeschool cooperative with the public school district. And that gave me the opportunity to just kind of grow in my confidence as a musician and as a music teacher. And then eventually, when I kind of felt as though I outgrew that, then I went just to my own stuff. And when I went off to be fully self employed, I had private piano students, but I started Do Re Mi Fa Soap like with more intention. And I thought that was going to be my main moneymaker. But it actually has turned out that like the consistency of having piano students tuition every month is like what is really nice and secure. And then soap is like a little, it fluctuates a lot more, and it's a fun thing to learn from, but it's not necessarily, I mean, I wouldn't say go out and start a goods business right off the bat if you need to have ends meet, because there's a lot of growth that it takes to get there.
How music came into your life?
Sorry, how what?
Music came into your life as a musician.
Oh, well, it's always been in my life. My parents always had music playing as a kid. So my dad often had gospel or country music playing in the car. My mom often had classical or folk music playing in the car. And then one of my earliest memories is dancing around the living room with mom to an old polka record. And if you've ever listened to polka music, it's just like it's the funkiest, weirdest, like just groovy music that is just meant for joy. Um, I don't actually know the music history of it. I'm sure it might be more nuanced than that. But that was my introduction to it. And then the way that I started playing was when I was 5. My parents had this like audio CD that was called Classical Cats, and it was these cat characters introducing you to all the instruments of the orchestra. And my favorite character, whose name was Furbert, okay, Furbert played the cello, and I was like, I have to play the cello like Furbert. So I asked my parents if I could learn to play the cello. Uh, we lived in the middle of nowhere. There were no cello teachers to be found. So we found a piano teacher 50 miles away. And we started piano at age 5.
Wow, very
Yeah,
early, my God.
very early. But here's the thing, my philosophy about piano is that yeah, if you can pick it up early, that's great, but I think you can foster appreciation early and then pick up the actual learning of it at any point, because I have adult students who've been going for a year or two and they're like making such strides because you just learn faster as an adult. You just incorporate the information easier. Whereas, childhood, you don't have anything to relate it to. You're growing your body, you're growing your mind. It's a pain, but it's hard being a kid, right? Like it actually is in its own ways. Um, so yeah, I mean, my own philosophy is you don't need to start early, but it's definitely you can start the um, the gratitude and the appreciation so early.
I see. Okay. Next question is, what is the most romantic thing someone has ever done for you?
Okay, when do you post these, by the way?
This is gonna go live. Let me think now. At the end of February, I believe, or beginning of March.
All right, I'm just gonna say it. I just started kind of seeing this guy.
Right?
All right. And last week he texted me because he said something in our texts, and we've met in person once, even right now, and it's been a couple of weeks. We've met in person once, and I just said to him, you know what? You are giving off so many green flags. It's just like reminding me that I just need to breathe into it and hold space for all of the abundance that's happening here, because the green flags are there. And he responded back with a poem. Now, I'm not a poetry person, so I don't know. Maybe it was a sonnet, maybe it was a haiku. It wasn't a haiku. It rhymed and it had like rhyming couplets and all sorts of stuff. And it was so cute. And I read it out loud for the first time to some friends who happened to be with me at the farmer's market. Um, and it was just the cutest thing. And then right after, he revealed that he had written it with Chat GPT.
No?
Well, so he didn't write it, but he put it into Chat GPT as a prompt. And
Ah,
so, but
yes.
still, like the idea that you put the intention in, and the poem had these details in it where it was like, well, he definitely put that this was about a new relationship. He put that this was about green flags. He put that he wanted like nature themes in it. And like, it was gorgeous. It was
Oh,
so cute.
oh, sweet. Very sweet.
Yeah, I mean, not to jinx anything, but I have a feeling that this is gonna continue.
Wow. And it's a great feeling, and it feels great. Feels good.
Yeah, yeah,
Ready for another one?
yes.
Let's do it. Next question. Next question, Eric.
Okay.
If you could be a character in a movie, who that would be and why?
Ooh, if I could be the actor.
Character.
Oh, a character. Oh, a character in a movie. Oh, if you've ever. So I'm a theater kid, which shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. But I would love to play the character of Roger Elizabeth Debris in The Producers. Um, and if you know the character, you know it's like this the stupidest, most flamboyant, just completely in his own world character, and I just feel like I could embody that just fine. It's not that far off from who I am. So yeah.
And growing up as an artist, like showing your skills very early, young age, did your parents support you?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, my dad was always very, very appreciative of the arts and into it. And so, like, a little history with my mom and dad. My parents were older, significantly older when they had me. My mom was 42 when I was born, and my dad was 59 when I was born.
Oh,
So they were different generations, but then we were completely different generations as well. And they like, so there was just like a lot that we didn't connect on and we
mhm.
didn't see the world the same way on. But my dad's love of the arts and my mom's appreciation of the arts and like doing creative stuff, absolutely. Grandma as well, my mom's mom, she was constantly crocheting. Um, like, I mean, I can't even put into words. Like the the tenacity the tenacity and creativity is definitely something that is a trait from my family that I just like wear with pride.
And you are the only child, or you have other siblings as well?
I was raised kind of as an only child, but as a result of my parents being older, I have six half siblings who are ranging from 15 years older than me to 31 years older than I am. So I
Oh,
have a brother who is 59, and I have brother, and then my closest in age sibling is 15 years older than I am, whatever that math is.
wow, amazing. Next question. Let's do
Okay.
it. Before the next one, you've been talking about being an artist, a musician, your background in theater as well. Saying that, did you always have this way of expressing yourself the way you are right now, like with colors, playing around with fashion? You always had this way?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I was always conscious of it, but even at an early age, I loved going into my mom's closet and just like walking among all the hanging cloth. And then I remember playing dress up in her clothes, which would drive my dad nuts. He would get angry about it. But my mom was always just like, "Oh, he's just being creative," you know. So like drag, like I have a drag persona too. Glam Chowder is my drag persona.
Okay.
Um, and so, like, I've always loved bright colors and texture and pattern. And I like my connection to the world is kind of is visceral. It's
Hmm.
it's it's with I connect with the world through the things that I love, right? And so I need like a lot of love in my life to hold space for the ugly parts, the human parts. Um, and
What's the biggest difference between your drag performer, persona, yeah, your drag persona, and Eric? What's the
well,
biggest difference?
so this is something that just listening to other drag artists talk about, I think is kind of a common thing with drag artists is that drag usually is an outlet to just elevate persona to the next level. And then you as an individual kind of catch up. And so when I started drag, it was when I was still working for the railroad and I was really unhappy generally with the state of my life. And yeah, I still had so many good things going on. So, like retrospect, hindsight is 2020. But yeah, it was a time where I really needed expression, and so I was like, glam chowder is perfect because it's like it's cute, it's punny, it's funny, it's gross, it's beautiful, like it's all these things. And I think the differences have gotten fewer and fewer and fewer to where now I feel like I can be glam chowder without the wig and the makeup and the heels and the corset, which let me tell you, if you've ever put on a corset, is a nice thing because it's always nice to take the corset off. So like I love having glam chowder around as another way to entertain. But I've found recently that as I just embody myself more, I think I just am glam chowder. So there's
Okay,
that.
amazing. Next question is, what are the top 3 things on your bucket list?
Mm, living abroad.
Mhm.
Um, like winning one of the awards in an EGOT, like somehow being in the production. I don't
Mhm.
know if that would be as performer or like as an intimacy coordinator, but like being involved with something of that caliber, yes. And then just like leaving this body and going to the next level, like girl, I could do so much if I was not weighed down by this body, but we are going to be grateful instead. We are not going to take the time for granted in the body. We are going to use it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited to experience death when it happens, and which I know sounds dark, but I don't mean that in a dismal way.
Which one is going to be the first one to happen, in your opinion, between the 3?
Well, not death. We'll
Of
save
course.
that for last.
Yeah, of course.
Let's see. What was the first one that I said? Oh, live abroad.
Yeah.
I'd say then. Uh, I could see the first two being just interchangeable. I
Okay.
don't know for sure. And I find that the more I try and plan and control things, the less that they are controllable. And so I suspect that I'm probably not going to move abroad before I get involved with something of that caliber. But who knows?
Let's see what the universe brings us.
Yeah.
3 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay.
Hey, Eric from Seattle. Next question is, who is the most influential person in your life?
Oh God. I think it definitely varies, but my best friend
Mhm.
is currently, uh, and I mean, there's a reason why she has the title best in there, and that's just because we've gone through like similar things in our upbringing. Like, as terrible as that is we have similar traumas, right? So we kind of understand how the other one functions. And then I just like look up to her so much in what she does and her work because she lives this hard life at the moment. And I'm so excited to see her emerge from the hardship and be able to blossom because right, I mean, her partner of 7 years is terminally ill and has been for most of their relationship. So she's a caregiver. She's in school and she's a caregiver so willingly and lovingly and open heartedly. And that's like amazing to me, at least from my perspective. I don't know. And then she is in school to become a marriage and family sex therapist who specializes in working with um, with couples where one is experiencing long-term health issue, right? Because you have to work around that. You have to hold space for that in order to have the sexual connection. Um, and then and she's in school. She's in school for that. She has her own business, Valiant Bridge. She does wonderful. Valiantbridge.com, if I may plug her website. She does sex education stuff right now, and she has some amazing courses on child grooming prevention and porn literacy for both adults and children. It's a class that pairs together because the adults need to know what's going on, and it's just kind of like a way of uh, uh, harm reduction is basically what it is, right? Because whatever, I could go on. She's amazing, and I love her so much, and we just like foster the best in one another. I feel like so.
What's her name?
Her name is Sammy Witness.
Okay, let's say now that Sam is watching the interview right now, and you have they have the chance to send her a message right now. What would you say?
Oh, well, I said this to her literally yesterday, but I said I am so excited for you to like make it through the stuff that is more just like required, right? Like get through the schooling, get through that, start having the life experiences of being a therapist and the hands-on work, and then get her. I know she wants to get her doctorate. Um, I want to see her. I'm so excited to see her get to that point because when she has the luxury of that space and that time and the income and the things that come with, she is going to do even more amazing things than she already has. So that's for you, Sammy.
Amazing. 2 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay.
Wow, amazing. Next question is, which season of the year you feel more connected with?
Ooh, well, if you had asked me a couple years ago, I would have said summer. Um, but for several years, winter was just a really hard time. And so I feel like over the last couple of winters, I've been getting to know it better so that it's not as, so that I can connect with it more and thrive within it more. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna say winter because that's the one where, like, yes, we're probably at odds the most,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the most like climate things that give me the ick and all this stuff. But winter, there we go.
Amazing. I love the winter as well. I think every season there is this a joy about it, but winter is cozy. Just be at home, have some, cozy time.
Absolutely.
Ready for the last question, Eric?
Yeah.
Let's do it. That's fun. But before the last question, through your career as a piano instructor, tell me a situation or a moment that you're never gonna forget. It's always gonna have a special place in your heart.
There's so many because when you're teaching, there's so many. If you when you're teaching, if you leave yourself receptive to it, you're gonna learn so much. Um, I think this isn't like a single moment, but it's all of the times when, you've been teaching a student for a couple of years, and then there's just that moment of interacting with the family as a whole where they just like, you are one of the most consistent things in their life. You see them on a weekly basis, you see them in a vulnerable setting, and and so it's like it's those connections, like there's this one piano family that I've had for 5 or 6 years now, and they call me family at this point, and I'm like,
Oh,
I don't know if I deserve that, but I'm gonna accept it. Okay. Thank you. Yes, I love you guys too.
oh, sweet. Last question is, do you have a unique ability that you think no one has or you never met before?
I don't know that I believe in like superpowers of that sort. I think superpowers are just like amalgamations of really cool things and understanding and like balancing and blending and flowing together humanity and mastery, because like it's, yeah, whatever. It's like yin and yang, kind of, but I don't know enough about yin and yang to say that that is definitely it. But it feels like my superpower is connecting with people and connecting people to new ideas and connecting people to each other, and that's really cool.
Absolutely. Connect with people, I think it's powerful. I think it's a way of you be open-minded and be connecting and exploring other ways of seeing from other people's eyes.
Well, and I think I told you in our messages a couple years ago, I kind of thought it would be so cool if there was a podcast where you just interviewed random people. And I had that idea because I think I was listening to Oprah talking about how she has learned so much from all of the people she's interviewed. And
Mhm.
I was like, what if I just had a conversation with somebody every day and recorded it? And then I was like, nah, that would be too much work. And then I took a nap or something. But and here you are. So thank you for being that.
Oh, it's been amazing, John. I think talking to people every day and seeing different ways of seeing life, you have no idea how much I've learned so far. Like it opened my mind so many different topics that I ever didn't know. See, and here
Cool.
we are making memories.
Cool. I love it.
Okay, Eric, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with money.
Bunny?
Money, yeah.
Oh, money. Sorry, I heard bunny. Money, um, a wonderful tool of power.
Fear,
Um, a choice.
family,
The people you love most.
life.
So complex and beautiful.
One word for love.
See, you caught on. You were like, this can't shut up.
No, of course
He needs to
not.
be limited to one word. um, expanse.
Religion,
Potential.
sex,
Love it.
politics,
Fascinating.
friendship,
Necessary.
desire,
Fun.
regret,
Useless.
success.
Self-defined.
One word for wish.
Word for wish. Sorry, my mind is going so many places with this.
Amazing.
Um, blessing.
One word for happiness.
Fulfillment.
One word for Seattle.
Oh, fresh.
USA.
Ooh, um, large.
One word for drag performer.
Ooh, artist.
And the last one now, piano instructor. One word.
Impactful.
Let's pretend now I'm going to meet Sam, your best friend, for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, define Eric in one positive word and one negative word only. What should say?
You'd probably say like kind
Mm-hmm.
for the positive and um, hard on himself.
Interesting. Let's play now, Eric, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Hey, you can ask me a question now, Eric.
Okay, this is a two-parter, and I love the answer to this question because it tells me a lot. So, um what is your favorite like element of design and why? So like
Mm,
texture, shape, color, form, whatever, like
right.
all those, whatever pops into your mind, and then why.
Good question, actually. Over 1,200 interviews, nobody asked me this question. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Right. I'm between two because those two are so strong. But okay, I'm gonna go for the texture. Yeah. I'm a
Okay.
very touching person. You don't know, I love feeling the energy of my best friends, like people who I know very much. They can tell you that I'm very like touchy. I'm very like about texture, about feeling.
Yeah.
This. I always been this way, and something that sometimes I think it because very could be a big sign of loneliness. I used to joke about it. I used to joke
Okay,
about that.
yeah.
I'm so lonely. I need to be touched. I need to be cuddled. I need to be, you know. But I think that's something that's it's kind of very. It's very for me. It's very natural. It's genuine. You know, when this touching or the texture of something, I feel it somehow. I have this feeling.
Is physical touch within like within relationships with people, like friendships, family,
Yeah.
is that like something that was big in your culture growing up?
Um, yes and no.
Okay.
Growing up, I never had this, gestures of touch with my parents. I don't remember like having a hug from my dad, like a
Yeah.
good hug of my mom as well. And I think that comes from that as well because somehow it was missing there. So now I give the most I can, and
Oh
somehow,
yeah, now you know you can't go
yeah.
back.
So I think it's about that as well because I think maybe I didn't have that much growing up, and now I always been this way. Like I think if I would have children, I'd love to have children. Oh my God, it would be like I would be like that's overprotective. Sometimes I think I'd be
Yeah.
very overprotective, and I would like this the way of expressing my love or my attention, caring would be very touching and texture. It's about feelings,
Yeah.
I think it comes from there for sure.
That's fantastic. One last thing I want to leave you with,
Sure.
and I was going to ask a question, but I'm going to just leave it into a statement. If you have not been to a cuddle party, I think you would love a cuddle party.
Really? I never heard of it before.
So if you just Google cuddle party, there is like a US based organization that reaches internationally too, and you might be
Oh,
able to find a cuddle meetup. And basically, it's about a 3 hour event. A bunch of people get together. There's a facilitator, and you go through opening exercises and agreements to make sure that the space is as safe as it can be. And then it's like a free for all cuddle, and it's just so good.
oh my God, that's interesting. I like that. I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. If I could cuddle every guest that's been in my show right now, I'll be like, one
Girl,
day.
someday we're gonna meet and I will give you a big, 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 wonderful embrace.
Amazing. Eric, did you enjoy the interview?
I did.
Thank you so much for taking the time so early. My goodness, you wake up so early for the
That's
interview.
okay. I have a workshop that I'm attending virtually all day today, and it starts in 15 minutes anyway. So what's another hour? Like, what's another hour earlier?
Before you go, briefly, if you just can say a positive message or anything that you live by.
Mm. Um, uh, Keep trying. Look for the light. Look for ways to accomplish things because there always is a way, even if it's complicated. As it's been said, um, two things that come to my mind are a candle does not need to light the whole path, merely your next step. And then Maya Angelou is famous for this quote, but do the best you can with what you know, and when you know better, do better.
Amazing. Very good. Enjoy your workshop, okay? Thanks so much for the interview and you keep in touch. It was a pleasure, okay, Eric? Take care.
Thank you so much. It was good
Bye-bye.
meeting you.
You
Bye.
too. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.